So, I think you guys remember me mentioning in the last video that I would be talking about why I would not be doing that podcast that I had planned a year ago with a friend. You guys may know him as Gamerslasher, and I personally know him as Austin. Now, I'm not going to be using any of these people's or personnel's last names in this video or in future videos unless it's already public. Because I would be finding that as breaching privacy. But I will be using their first names to get my point across. So, me and Austin were good friends. At least I thought we were. And there was also my other friend named Rob. You know, we called him Beast Boy. So there was BB and there was Austin. Now, we had another friend named Wolf. And he's another one. You know, he was cool, but he's not. He's not. You know why I'm making this video on. Wolf and I are still good friends. We are great friends. It's between BB and Austin. Uh, we just didn't see eye to eye, and that's the short end of it. Now the long end of it is, personally, I'm still touched to this day, even though it was happened like a week ago or so that I was not receiving any more contact with Austin or me, and I went through BB about it, and he wasn't being so open about it either. And I was starting to question, well, why am I not hearing back in Austin for a few days? Usually he would always call me by midnight because he's at work and he needs somebody to talk to while he's at work to, you know, finish off these 4 hours. You know, so that, you know, because he, you know, he's doing what he's doing, and I'll be like, okay, cool. You know, sometimes I'll give in, sometimes I'll just go to sleep, and then talk to him the next day. I then look at my Discord. I'm blocked. I'm not friended, and I'm not in the Discord shared server with this person. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna call Rob. I'm gonna call BB and figure out what's going on. I get a hold of him. He's not giving me anything. He's saying it is what it is. He's just, you know, not being very clear with anything. And I'm confused because I'm like, well, something must have happened with Austin. I'm not hearing from him. Nothing has been brought back to me. I'm just gonna assume this is childish if he doesn't contact me at any point in time, because last time I checked, we ended off on good notes. I don't think there's anything I said that was wrong. But I could be easily wrong. Now, I could be totally wrong over the fact that, you know, these people that I'm talking to, that I would assume my friends that I've known for a while, that have known me, probably have hidden agendas. Now, my friend TJ is a good one to point that out. You know, he's the one who would tell me, hey, I've known you for 7+ years. These people will just, at the end of the day, just fuck with you. You know, they're not your friends. Because, you know, that guy had a hidden agenda. You know, in his British voice, that guy had a fucking hidden agenda. That fucking, you know, bollocks of a man. And it is true. You know, because why else would you block me and not confirm with me when are we going to do the podcast? You're going to cut ties with me, and that's totally fine. You know, you have the right to do that as a human being. But for me, who's trying to, you know, have this, you know, bond with my bros, and then just to abrupt, you know, cut the string and just be like, okay, we're just going to cut contact with them, and end all be all. For someone who's trying to have a personal podcast, it's fucking disgusting, Austin. This is not how you establish friendships or break off friendships. This is petty childish shit. Because if you get upset over someone having a disagreement with you over some nonsense like the Game Awards, for instance, because you want, you know, The Last of Us 2 to win, and knowing that it slumped on sales, why would there be another trailer for this Christmas even though the game had did poorly and 80% of the employees have left during crunch time and was forced to dock their pay if they didn't finish the game because they know that politics wasn't sealing the deal, you gotta understand that's scummy, you know? For someone who's a friend, who I assume a friend, regardless of our political views, which you didn't bring up much to me. You wouldn't sit there and then, try to, talk about how Miles Morales is the best character. Even though I said, tokenized characters are shit, because that was my opinion. To then, slowly dumb your opinion down to, well, in my opinion, Miles Morales is the, better character. Which is, that's how it should be. It's subjective. Just like how my opinion is subjective. Something like that. Shouldn't have to be you being all quiet and silent and not coming to me about something. This could easily be hashed. You could have just told me, hey, I just don't want you part of the podcast anymore. You could have easily done that. Instead of me just having to find out this way. Because you're forgetting I'm the kind of guy that wants stuff to be brought to me up front. I'm the one who wants to be 100% with people. Now, sorry about that, guys. Before all of this had happened, me and Austin have gotten to a bit of a conflict, and now part of it was him coming to me about the podcast rules. A year from when we discussed this up to now, at least a week and a half back, we were discussing how the podcast will be going on since it's almost being finalized. He wanted up. And his channel, as small as it is, as small as my channel is, he's greater than my channel by at least 3,000 or so 3,000 or so subscribers. And I'm good that, and I'm happy that he has that, because he worked hard to get those subscribers. He wanted to make a podcast. He wanted to be professional. And I said, okay, I like that. How will it go? Well, he said, well, this can't happen. And I said, whoa. I agree with you on this, that, and this, but not exactly this. What was specifically about that was going off topic too much. I agree with him about that. It's just that even if it's for a little bit of a second, maybe 2 seconds to explain why, someone would yell or something like that, if, middle of doing something during the podcast, they can at least explain, just don't brush it off. It's okay to be off topic for a couple of seconds, a couple of minutes, but, I agree with you, don't go off topic for long, extensive periods of time. We can all agree on that, and I think that's crazy, right? Yeah, because if you're just trying to have, a main topic, all these things listed below. Now, when I talked to Austin again, because we haven't heard each other within almost a year's time, he wanted me to give him things in lists to talk about. Just like everyone else. He asked everyone else around him inside the Discord server that he invited me to. That was, being, operated by two people. Him and this other guy that I have not heard of, who's named Andregoa. And this Andregoa person had this server. It wasn't owned by Austin. But Austin did said that, the podcast would be on his channel. And he just wanted no one to archive it. He just wanted things to be shown on his channel. And I said, that's totally fine. But the reason why I wanted to archive it to my channel, not for views, because I can give a shit less about that. I basically upload my content from my friends. And anyone, like I said, who joins can be along for the ride. That's totally fine. And if people really want me to grow, I'll do that. But I just wanted it because I'm sentimental to my friends. And I think that I just want something to see at later at the end of the day and be like, God damn, we really did that. That's amazing. I want everyone else to see that we're having fun with each other. That we're talking about things. And he said, his piece. Why he didn't want it up. And I said, okay, that's totally fine. I respect that. At the end of the day, it is your stuff that you're setting up. And everyone else agreed to it. It's the majority of the decision. And I'm just like, all right, cool. That's totally fine. If everyone else feels like that's the case, that is the case. You set it up, that's totally fine. But mind you, you're coming to everyone else for an idea and what to talk about. Everyone else is part of this project. There should at least be some kind of meeting halfway here. I'm just not going to freely join into something without getting my own piece in the action as well. I just wanted those clips because that's something for us because that's something we've done, and I'm not looking for the fucking views. I just wanted something to go back and memorize. Now he'll be like, well, you can always go to my channel too. And I said, yeah, I agree with that. That's totally fine. I like that idea. But as long as, you leave it uncensored, why censor, just these things? I get it. You're trying to be, professional, but, leave the uncensored clips for me. Put them in a private folder where I can just look at those and go back to. Because I don't see the issue in that. But that didn't even cut it for him because of me being blocked, him not coming to me about anything, being incommunicative, if that's even a word. I would say that, he's being unresponsive. You would rather say. Unresponsive. Why would you bother even coming to me about these things if you knew how I was going to feel? I was going to say, hey, we've talked about this for a while. Just meet me halfway on these things. This is not anything that involved my YouTube channel. This is just something, because yes, you see how I take care of my YouTube channel. Whenever I feel like uploading, I'm doing. I'm not on a fucking busy schedule. I'm not looking for shit out of it. I'm not looking for money out of my YouTube channel. This is the same guy that even told me, hey, maybe you should go work at Amazon. They're doing this, that, and the other. He's trying to get me back on my feet. And I'm just like, wow. Weeks later, here we are now. Not heard a word. Like I said, guys, watch who your friends are. Because I don't understand what's with the no response. It irks me to all living hell that I'm sitting here trying to set stuff up for months after we've got in contact with each other again, after we've started talking to each other again, because he's been doing his own thing, because life happens. There was nothing wrong between me and him. And I don't even think that was the real thing that, cut the bread between us. I don't think that broke the stick between me and him. That broke the camel's back. Nothing. No throwing salt on the wounds. I think what really got on his nerve was because that he was trying to always seem right by using subjectivity. Good example was between me and him on Discord, having a conversation. I'm going to read it out to you. And this is what it says. For me and him, because we would talk about things like this. And this would come to mind when, we wake up, when we're talking, and this is how it happened. So, the Game Awards voting is now live, this, that, and the other. Tekken was not on the list. And me and him were going back and forth longly. I'm not going to read it all. It's quite lengthy. Regarding why Tekken 7 is not on the Game Awards, Mortal Kombat, this, that, and the other is. For an example. And I said, well, Tekken should be on the nominees. It shouldn't win. It should be on the nominees because of how dumbed down the game is now. It's casual friendly as hell. It's completely nonchalant. There's a lot of things in there. I could go in a later video why I dislike Tekken 7. As much as I love Tekken as a franchise, I do not like Tekken 7. It's not fun. It doesn't want to make me stay up hours at the night playing with my friends. It makes me want to get off as soon as possible. But that's just me personally. I think how much sales that it has, that it should at least be recognized as a nominee for 2020 in the Game Awards. That was my opinion. His opinion was just that it's because it's just not popular. Well, it must be because we had to make it casual friendly. That was it. We've made it casual friendly and we shat on the franchise that was probably the best 3D fighter in our generation for fucking casuals. And that was it. And it gained a lot of traction. It made millions upon millions of sales. And it should be nominated. But that doesn't mean it should win. I agree with him on that. And that was it. What really ticked him off was my ending speech. My ending speech was this, because I had to put it into a close. I said, next time don't wake me up about shit like this when in the end it's just a base of an opinion. Neither you or I will care about it in the next 10 hours. It's lame. And that's how I usually talk to him. And that's okay. At the end of the day, next thing you know, yo, what's up, John? Yo, what's up? This, that, and the other. Everything's cool. Because that's how I fucking talk to him, and he's usually the chill person. Didn't give me shit. I didn't give him shit. Usually he'll sometimes, throw some random shit in my face to get my opinion, and that'll be it. And because usually that's how I talk to my siblings. And as such, I treated him like a brother. At the end of the day, you could have just told me, Austin, you didn't want me, part of your little group or whatever it is. And I would have been totally fine. I pray and hope that the future treats you well and that you have a prosperous life. I don't wish death upon you. I just wish you came and talked to me like a respectful adult that we are and told me how you were really feeling and just, avoided this whole awkwardness between you and me by just not talking to me. Because this doesn't tell me how you really feel. It just tells me that you're just being a child. Complete silence doesn't fucking help. And it's annoying, dude. It's like, how do you get through that? I just don't want to be friends with you. I don't want to talk to you. That's just how it is. Okay, totally fine. I respect that. But at the end of the day, I've known you for a while. And you should at least come to me with this. It just doesn't help. Are you afraid that your little group of friends on your podcast wouldn't like my opinions because I'm a conservative? Or that they wouldn't like my opinions because I might just defeat them on the fact that I have more receipts regarding objectivity on, games, for an example? It's not even that much of a big of a fucking deal. And to be honest, it would be nothing that I'll care about at the end of the day. And I told you I don't think I would be staying around the podcast that long anyway. That would just be around and along for the ride. And I'd have something to remember you by, but you wouldn't let me have those clips. And that's totally fine. So, probably to make sure that I wouldn't get them, period, was to just shut me out, period. By just blocking me and just kicking me out the Discord server. And that's okay. At the end of the day, I'm more frustrated about the fact that you didn't come to me and tell me you didn't want to talk to me anymore. And to instead do this nonsense that I have to make this video about because it irked me that much that I actually had to make this video. In fact, I tried to wait days and days, and probably to the point where I didn't really want to upload this video. Because the most of my friends who were, dumbasses that I used to know, or the people that I refuse to talk to because they're, idiots, I didn't expect this from you. You were not like this when I met you. You were not like this later down the line. And that's totally fine that you felt like I probably offended you or whatever. But if it did offend you, then good, because that's the whole point of me. If you have something you want to debate, you come to me. That's the whole point. We debate things. And if you're in your feelings and you had a hidden agenda, too bad. Just tell me. It makes it easier on the both of us. I wouldn't have to do this. And whoever sees this, I'm sorry. This is a little personal. And that's just it. I just won't be part of his podcast, and he just didn't have the balls to come tell me that. That's totally fine. I'm more upset that I won't have, someone in my life that I would consider a brother, like a few other people in my friend circle as my brothers, and that's totally fine. Because I know at the end of the day, TJ won't hurt me, and I know that BB is just a follower. Wolf won't hurt me, and Wolf knows you guys. He knows who you guys are, and he's known you longer. And his personal opinion is that that's a weird grudge, is what Wolf told me. That is a weird grudge. And I was speaking to TJ and Wolf on the same day. Whatever you're doing, it's weird. And I'm sure you're never going to hear from me again. But I will leave this video on your channel the next time you upload. Awesome. And that is it. So that when you see this, you will know how I feel. Because you wouldn't have the balls to come talk to me. And tell me how you really felt. I hope you guys have a nice day. And I will be in a much better mood when Cyberpunk gets released. I just wanted to get this out because I didn't think I would make it really regarding it. So, you guys have a nice day. TJ, Wolf, I love you boys. You guys are my boys forever. You guys know how to keep shit real. And I hope you guys have a nice day. Like I said again, I'll be around when Cyberpunk comes out. I'm most likely going to be live streaming the Nomad theme. So, I made my choice. I'll talk to you guys later in a little bit. We have 5.5 days away. You guys stay safe.